When you hear the name Chevrolet, a car probably pops into your head, right? But what if I told you the real story is, well, it's so much bigger than that. We're talking about an entire American system, one that's so massive it's become almost invisible. Welcome to WhyItTV, and that's pronounced WhyItTV. We're the channel that's all about explaining why things exist, how they got to be the way they are, and, why they really matter, especially now. So today, let's pull back the curtain on the hidden system behind one of America's most iconic names. All right, so let's just start with a really simple question. What is Chevrolet? Go ahead, picture it. You've probably got an image in your mind right now. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably not what you think it is. Seriously, the brand, the cars themselves, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So to really, truly get what Chevrolet is all about, we've got to look beyond the sheet metal. We need to see it for what it actually is, something way more fundamental. We need to see it as a system. Look, this isn't just another story about a car brand. Nope, this is about a vast, sprawling American system, a system that was built on a very specific set of ideas that basically defined a whole century. And that right there brings us to the core of this whole thing, the mass market system. But what does that even mean? What are we talking about here? Okay, so this really breaks it down perfectly. We tend to think of brands like Chevy as symbols, right? It's all about status, image, and maybe a little bit of exclusivity. But that's not the whole story. The reality is, it's a system. And that system is all about scale, actual use, and down-to-earth practicality. And when we talk about scale, the numbers are just staggering. A modern car company is a global beast. Just to give you a sense of the sheer number of people involved, a company like Capgemini, one of the major partners for these automakers, has something like 340,000 team members. That is just immense. And this visual just nails that point. Scale has nothing to do with how fast one car can go, not at all. It's about the mind-boggling infrastructure it takes to build, ship, and then service millions of them. We're talking logistics, supply chains, people. It's a whole universe. You see, it's that massive scale that lets Chevrolet do what it really does. And this brings us to a huge tension right at the heart of the brand. It's the perception versus the actual purpose. It's being a workhorse, not a show pony. Of course, the image we all know is this one, right? The Corvette. It's been called the American sports car since, the 1950s? It's the hero car, the dream car, the one that makes everyone turn their head when it drives by. And it's not just a feeling. Research actually backs this up. In one study, Corvette owners pretty much all said the car was part of their identity. Look at this quote. Owning one was basically a public announcement that you've made it. That is the show pony in its natural habitat. But then there's the reality, the actual foundation of this whole system. And that is the American workhorse. This is the part of Chevrolet that literally helped build the country. We're talking about the trucks, the fleet vehicles, the cars that just get the job done day in and day out. And here's the crucial thing to understand. That workhorse identity, it's not just about being useful. It's tied to this really deep-seated American value system. It's about finding dignity through your work, independence through your skills, and humility through service. That's the real engine driving this mass market system. And frankly, it's what makes the whole thing so American. So because of this relentless focus on just being practical, Chevrolet became something really unique. It became an invisible cultural constant. It's just there. Let's talk about how that actually plays out. Sure, we all see the flashy hero cars in the movies, but that's not where Chevrolet's real cultural power comes from. Not even close. It's in the millions of totally unglamorous, but absolutely essential vehicles that are just part of the background of American life. The ones out there, quietly doing the work. But here's the catch. That exact same system, the one built on hardware, on massive scale, on 100 years of doing things a certain way, the very thing that made Chevy this invisible constant is now staring down the barrel of a massive, fundamental disruption. And that disruption has a name, the software-defined vehicle, or SDV. The easiest way to think about it, it's a smartphone on wheels. Seriously, it's a car where software, not the physical parts, controls most of what it can do. And that means you can get constant updates and upgrades, which completely changes what a car is. It goes from being this static thing you buy to a dynamic platform that's always evolving. So really, the best way to frame it is this. The new engine is lines of code. The central nervous system of the car isn't just mechanical anymore. It's digital. And for a company that's been doing this for a century, this shift is, well, it's a huge challenge. First off, you've got to completely transform a culture that's been hardwired for hardware. Then, you've got this incredible balancing act, supporting the millions of cars already out there, while also pushing for radical new ideas. And finally, you have to go out and fight for and keep the best software talent in the world who everyone else wants to. It is a monumental task. So, all of this leaves us with what might be the most critical question for the entire industry over the next decade. Can a hardware giant, a true master of the physical, mass market system, actually learn to think and act like a software company? And that question is exactly what we're going to keep exploring. Because, you see, this explainer, it's really just the beginning. It's the starting point for our much deeper look into the future of the entire American auto industry. You know, every topic we tackle here at WhyItTV gets the full treatment. So this explainer you just watched is paired with a really lively debate, a sharp critique, a full-on deep dive, and even a data-packed infographic. It's all about giving you the complete picture so you can really understand the forces that are shaping our world. We drop a whole new topic like this every single Friday. So if you want to understand the big forces changing everything from the future of the car to the future of, well, work itself, make sure you connect with WhyItTV. That's how you'll see the full picture. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.